All right, welcome back to the Dr. Quack podcast here. Got another esteemed panel here. First, of course, I have the manager of champions here, Eric Nelson, becoming a weekly guest here, and it's always awesome to have him. But today, I have two special guests here. I have Robin Graves here, former professional wrestler, also in movies. And I also have Miss Whiptress here. She is here as well. So let me start with you, Robin, here. So you were in the wrestling business. What was the first moment you had involving the wrestling business? Did you sit down and watch as a kid, or were you?
Actually, I was a big fan back in 1978. Back when it was the NWA on oh my gosh, what was it? It was TBS before it was TBS, WTCG, I believe, Channel 17.
Yes.
And I was a huge Tommy Rich fan. In fact, I have a story about him in a few minutes. If you guys want to hear it.
Yeah, I want to hear it. I'd love to hear it all.
We actually know Tommy pretty well.
Yeah, she was there when it happened and stuff. I decided at that point that's what I want to do. But when I got into high school back in 1981, 82, I discovered rock and roll, and I wanted to be the next Randy Rhoads until Randy died, and I decided it had to be something else because it was, obviously kind of shook me pretty good. I actually got into wrestling back in late 88, I believe. I was home on leave, and I was drunk with a bunch of guys. There was a wrestling school in the city I lived in. Well, my parents, that I was on leave at, my parents lived in that city, and they dared me to join. And folks, I got into professional wrestling, spent 20-something years of my life in it on a dare. So.
That's usually the way it works.
Yeah, that's how I joined the military.
Yeah, I joined the military when I was bigger and meaner than my father was. So.
Oh man. Yeah. So and you said Tommy Rich, was he your favorite wrestler growing up? Or?
At that time, yeah, he was.
Yeah.
I really idolized him. I mean, he was really good at that time, and it really struck a chord with me. Him and I remember the rivalry between him and Harley Race, and I got to meet Harley later on, and I was very surprised to actually sit down and talk to Harley, and he was very surprised that I remembered that, So, yeah, I mean, oh my gosh, I remember the Crusher. Austin Idol was a big influence, at the time, which later on became Ric Flair was a monster idol of mine. He's actually during training, he actually helped taught me how to run ropes correctly.
Really?
Because I was going to the ropes wrong the whole time, and trying not to be bruised. He told me if I didn't have 3 bruises on me after every match for hitting the ropes, I was doing it wrong.
Wow. I mean Ric Flair was the man. I mean, ended up 16-time world heavyweight champion.
At least.
Yeah. I mean, gotta love that. So, when did you first start training in professional wrestling?
About late 1988. I actually went and joined the wrestling school where I was at in Fort Smith, Arkansas.
Who trained you?
A guy by the name of Big Bob Humphrey originally.
Okay.
He worked with the NWA in the past, and I still remember him telling me, "You didn't fall. You're supposed to bump, not roll." And it was really, I still remember his voice in my head. In fact, honestly, I didn't even touch a ring for the first 6 months of actual real training. Once I got the service, I went back to him. And I didn't see the ring for 6 months. He had me train on the ground. So that was.
Yeah, that's old school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the way they originally brought you in. I mean, I was originally trained in a boxing ring. That's where it first started.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, they're stiff. he had it built strong. But, yeah, so you went on there, and you went by Robin Graves?
Well, actually, I was there for a while. I was going by Azrael.
Azrael. How did you come up with that?
I wanted something scary.
See, we all love the scares, man.
Yeah,
Yes, we did.
Yeah, I didn't become Robin Graves till like, oh my gosh, 97, 98, somewhere in there. In ECW, I was doing some matches, the original ECW, and I actually wore a mask. They wanted me to lose the mask, and I was kept saying, well, what am I going to do then? Well, we got the character figured out for you. And was going there. I went there for a show. I think it was in, oh my gosh, someplace in New Jersey, and oh my God, they kept telling me don't worry about it, got it covered. I'm getting madder and madder because they won't tell me anything. So I'm going out. I'm in the go position. I'm like, I am seething. I'm ready to start chewing on flesh at this point because I'm so frustrated. Wait, tell me anything. And they said, just go with it. Just go with it. We got to figure it out. Just go with it. And they introduced from Detroit, Michigan, the main man, Robin Grace, having Ghost Rider by Henry Rollins playing my entrance music.
Nice.
And I'm like, what the hell? You know, the main man, Henry Rollins. God, I'm in the ring. I'm out there and everything. I'm a heel anyway. I've always been a heel except for 15 minutes of my life. And I go out and they bring the guy. You know, I go out in heel position. Then the other guy comes out and we go to lock up. I said, look, man, I'm sorry. I am so mad right now. I don't mean to hurt you. I'm in there. I mean, I'm. You could tell somebody's wrestling angry. You can always tell. Mm-hmm. And the match was over with. I went back to the locker room and said, keep it. That's it. Keep that gimmick. I was like, morons, God. So I did, and it actually worked.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you got to wrestle all over, you were saying?
Yeah, I mean, I think I was in, about 40 states? Wrestled in 40 states. I think 7 countries.
Yeah, which countries did you wrestle in?
Of course, America. I wrestled like a few matches in Canada. I was lucky enough to do that. Mexico, Japan. Scotland, England, and Wales.
Wow. Well, that's wild because you don't hear about Wales. What was Wales like?
Wales is nice. Wales was a very nice country. Very beautiful. People were very good. Crowds were very interesting. You know, you didn't know what to expect because I'm here in Glasgow, and in Glasgow you got football hooligans. I mean, you got chavs, you got a whole big cross section of just lowlifes in the audience along with everybody else. And in Wales, you didn't know what to expect because you may have something like that one time, and another time they'll just sit there and just watch. You know, it was weird.
Oh wow! Yeah, I mean, so how would you like compare their crowds, let's say, like to Japan, and were the fans active there a lot? There
is no comparison.
None.
Not the Japanese people. The Japanese crowds were fanatical. They were fanatical. They were very nice, but during the shows they were fanatical. You know, I don't know if some of them knew this was fake or not. But I mean, going there was different because I'm an American. You know, I don't know how to take the thing. I was only there for 6 weeks. I don't know how I didn't know the culture that well. So I decided, you know what, I'm a gaijin, let's just do it. You know, and it was great. I had a blast.
So how long did you wrestle for?
Oh, golly. I retired out of Europe back in 2010, February 2010. But I moved here with Whiptress, and we've been friends for years. And she told me she knew Shannon Grogan. I'm like, Shannon Grogan? Why does that name sound familiar? She said Shannon DeMoss. I'm like, oh, you know him? And she goes, yeah, he lives just down just a little ways from us. And she goes, let me get him on the phone. I'm like, oh, great, wonderful. You know, somebody I haven't seen in years, and I gotta talk to them. You know, I don't really talk to a lot of people if I keep from it. She gets on the phone, she says, guess what I got in my living room? She goes, who? She goes, Robin Graves. She goes, give him the phone. We talked, how long did we talk?
2 hours?
Wow.
At least?
At least.
At least 2 hours. Talking and coming back, doing a few shows with the company he was working with. I told him, I'm only coming back as a manager. I'm out of the ring. I won't get back in the ring anymore. You know, I'm through with the ring. I have a lot of reasons. And he brought him back as a manager with the company he was working with, which I ended up being in, 2 or 3 matches before it was over with, before I decided that was it, you know. So, about 22 years.
22 years. See, I mean, that's dedication right there.
No, that's not wanting to work at a burger hut.
There you go. That's a burger hut. Gee.
Oh, man.
So you two, knew each other for a while, and
2006 we met.
Yep. And you guys got married, or?
Yeah, we'll have our 10-year anniversary in February.
10 years. Wow, that's impressive.
There is life after the business.
Yes, indeed.
Yep.
You definitely hear that. I mean, you don't see it a lot of times. A lot of times couples you see, they split in a couple of years, and, you guys are definitely at the 10-year mark. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you just don't see it every day. So you went from wrestling, right, and in there, you were managing at the time?
Yeah, manager, valet, ring announcer. Yeah.
Yeah. How did you like that?
I loved it. I got on just showing up at shows and things like that, and it was just one thing led to another. I did it for close to 10 years.
Yeah. And, how were the boys? Did they treat you pretty good, respectful?
99% of them treated me with respect because I demanded respect. I gave respect. You didn't respect me, I didn't respect them. There's a few of them that shall remain nameless.
Hear that, nameless, folks.
Nameless.
He is still running
And
from
don't
me.
worry, I already,
Yeah, he's still running. We'll leave it at that. He's still running.
and don't worry, I know who you are.
Yeah, you do. And
Eric always knows.
yeah, and it's just, I loved it. I loved the brotherhood, even though I'm a female, which is kind of uncommon in the business. I mean, we're here, but it was just that brotherhood and the friendship and the fun and just everything about it. I missed that part of it, but some things I don't miss.
Well, I can understand that, and I was there for most of that, as
Yes.
you well know.
Yep.
In my early days, Whiptress and I had a nice little angle, did we not?
Yes, we did. I wish was there video of that somewhere? I'd love to say somewhere there's video.
Yeah, you tried to pull my hair and it wasn't there,
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to tell you, man,
Beat the
somebody
crap out
stole
of
your hair.
But no, seriously, I know you had a bad taste, and I won't wait until now to tell you this. Stranglehold is doors are open for you.
Well, thank you.
You just let us know when you're ready, and trust me, I got some good plan. Want to help out? I got you.
Yeah.
So
I'll think about it. I'll think about it long and hard. Because I have real world problems. I mean, if I could throw this out here, the main thing that we do now, besides my real job, which I can't mention it on here because the company don't like it, we also run a nonprofit reptile educational group.
Oh, very nice.
Yes, it's I'm a plug time. American Reptile Association. I'm the president, he's the vice president.
We have created 3 new ball python morphologies, totally brand new. So
Yeah,
we know what
they're
we're
kind of under wraps right now because we're trying to prove a few things out and they're still small. But right now we do have 37 snakes.
Very nice.
Billy, I know you're watching this, so yeah, I'll get you in contact with them. She loves her snakes. She has 3 of her own.
Oh, only 3?
Only
Yeah.
3?
It's like Lazy Potato Chips. You just can't have 3.
That's
Come
right.
on.
She wants more, but
37. Everything from ball pythons to red-tailed boas to king snakes to... So one very rare one, which I don't want to mention on here because it's not usually found in the U.S. and I don't know if it's quite technical to have it, but that's okay. I'll leave it at... It's a hognose. We'll leave it at that. What? Doom-rolled boa, Borneo short-tail.
Yeah.
We have a lot of different ones. And we take them out to events, and unfortunately, COVID has put a damper on the wrestling business, the reptile educational business, my job. I've worked from home since March, and they've announced that we're not going back to April, so it'll be over a year that I've been stuck at the house. So,
Well, that leads us to another good discussion point here. So, there's a lot of you out there have been hitting me up about the upcoming film. I have made some new additions, and of course, part of the reason you guys are here, we're going to talk a little bit about that. The upcoming film is going to be called Dr. Quack. We have some roles available. We have some filled. It's going to be exciting. Who's the next announcement you want to make?
well, I mean, there's a lot of announcements here actually, and we've been talking here before this cast, and yeah. We're going to have Robin Graves. He'll be definitely involved in this. And we'll have the manager of champions, Eric Nelson. He will definitely be there as well.
Yes, I'm actually going to have a character in this film. I'm looking forward to it. And there'll be more to follow on that.
Yeah. And speaking of films, this is why I really wanted to bring you on. Because you left the wrestling business and everything and then went into movies. Do you want to tell our viewers about it?
Well, I mean, I did bit parts in a few movies just because I knew people. And I was actually in a movie that was, I don't know if it was ever really distributed. I made 0 at it. Back in 2005, there was this movie called Hearts of Darkness. If you've never seen it, please don't. It is that bad.
it is bad. It's really bad.
Zombie Hookers was a much better movie.
And you were in that.
Yeah, I was actually in the, we did the rap party. Well, after it was edited, which had me worried because it only took 2 weeks to edit this thing. So it kind of had me a little worried. We're at the wrap party, we're watching the movie. I'm halfway through, I'm going, my God, I was in this crap. So yeah, I did that. I was an extra in Hearts of Glass. I was
Extra, there was another one. You were in the service.
Yeah, I was an extra in Biloxi Blues. I was one of the people
nice.
walking back and forth in front of the whorehouse. Am I allowed to say that here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why not?
Yeah.
Just did.
The home of ill repute. I was one of the people who was walking back and forth, making it look like there was a crowd. And but yeah, that's the only scene I was in. Other scenes, I actually had a speaking scene where I pointed, he's over there. It was cut, thank God. And stuff. And there was another scene where I was digging a ditch, and I didn't want anybody to see that. Anyway, after doing it, I was thinking about it. I don't want to think I'm into doing manual labor on film, and did enough as it was off film. But yeah, I have a YouTube channel. I was
Hey, what's your YouTube channel?
well, it's just Robin Graves, but I do several things. I do Mondo Destructo TV, where I show that I do need supervision. And another thing I do there is called The World According to Graves. I pretty much just rant about things that are happening. The new one hit yesterday. I did an episode of World According to Graves about COVID-19 and my views of how we're being hosed about it, by the media. And it got the notice of Sparky Bell, the owner and director. He owns Southeast Films, and he's directing a documentary, and he wanted to know if I would go on and be interviewed. Well, yeah, I went ahead and agreed to it. We made plans. The producer and him could never get. They're so busy. I'm not taking anything away from them. They are so busy with everything that we just can't get our lines together. Well, about 3 weeks ago, I got a phone call when what was it, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the evening? 1 o'clock in the evening?
Yep.
And from Sparky Bell tell me, well, I'm going to be filming a movie soon. I need a bad guy. I need somebody who's going to be ultra violent, somebody who's able to do things. And I said, okay, so what do you want me telling me this for? And he's like, well, I watched your videos on YouTube. And I think with a little bit of work, with your hair and the way you look, we could turn you into a psychopath. I'm like, hold on, Spartan. You're making a horror movie. You need a psychopath. I look like the part, so you want me to be a psychopath in your movie because I look like a psychopath. Yes. So
when is Revenge coming out?
I don't know when it's coming out. It starts filming according to scheduling about 3 to 4 weeks.
3 to 4 weeks. Okay.
Yes. It's on an 8-week filming schedule. That's the easy part. The editing and everything else is what takes so long. So right now we're talking probably about the beginning part of next year, maybe on March or so. It's what's being projected. What I was told, but things do change. Depending on everything. It's a wild card. It will be out.
Next year?
Yeah, next year for sure.
Okay, yeah, definitely keep your eyes out for that. I have one more question for you, though, because I always ask this to all my guests. What was your favorite scary movie?
You're talking about
I can answer this one, but I'll let him answer.
And I want you to answer, too.
Okay.
We're good.
There's so many out there. I'm a horror movie aficionado, pretty much. I've got
Yes.
a DVD collection that people look like going, they actually made that? And stuff. Favorite horror movie. Was it Dawn of the Dead?
Bingo.
Yeah, the original.
Yeah,
Wow.
the original.
Dawn of the Dead. Yes, I'm a big Romero fan.
We were talking about that riding up the
Yeah,
road
we
as
were,
well.
actually.
Yeah, Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead.
I mean,
I've
that's
got the whole series.
yeah, some cool classics there.
Yeah.
I've got the original version of the Crazies and the remake of the Crazies. I've got I think I have Monkey Shines someplace.
Monkey Shines. Wow, that's been a long time I've seen that.
Geez, I think we've got a Creep Show he was involved in. So I'm a big Romero fan.
That is awesome.
In fact, we want to name one of our snakes Romero.
Yeah.
Our big red, our guy in a red boa, his name's Romero.
That's a diehard fan right
Yes,
there.
it is.
Yes, indeed.
So what was your favorite scary movie?
A little backstory, I grew up, my cousin had a video store in the 80s. I grew up in it from like the age of 12 to 18, formative years, so I could watch whatever movie I wanted to. I got hooked on Hellraiser.
Yes.
At that age, and it's stuck with me to this day. Hellraiser.
See, Hellraiser for me was wild. When I was a younger person, in my teens, I did not get into it as much. But now being an adult, like from roughly 20 on, I've gone, man, this is really crazy stuff. Then I was starting to watch the later ones, the 5th one, 6th, 7th, and 8th.
Yeah,
they were crazy, but it was just,
What happened?
It didn't appeal to me for some reason.
No,
Yeah.
I tell everybody, it's like, so the Hellraiser series good? Yeah, as long as you ignore anything after number 2.
Yeah, I like the third one. The third one there from Hell from Earth, I thought was alright. It was a decent story, but yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, it had a lot of goofiness with it.
I did have my second favorite, and because I read the book when I was 12 years old, the Amityville Horror.
Yes.
I read it at 12 years old and didn't get freaked out by it. Loved it. Watched the movie, it was all right, a little cheesy, but I read the book. I'm a big book reader too, so yeah, books are better.
All right.
In my opinion.
Before we go, can I tell one more story?
Please.
Sure, go ahead.
She was there when this happened. The first time I met Tommy Rich, you gotta understand,
Oh, yeah,
I was a huge Tommy Rich fanatic at one point. I mean, he's the one who got me into watching professional wrestling. And all the time I've been in, I've never met him until 2010. And we were at some indie show. Shannon Dumas or Grogan got me booked to this company for this show. And Tommy Rich happened to show up. And I'm waiting the whole time. He's there. I'm waiting to go tell him, thank you, Mr. Rich, for inspiring me, for being to be in this business, for everything you've done for this business. You opened so many doors, and I'm sitting there thinking, okay, I've got to talk to him. I've got to talk to him. I just tell him how much I appreciate him. We go through the show. I take like 11 chair shots for some reason, and after that's over with, I go back to the locker room and say, man, I think I've been too old for 11 chair shots. He turns to me and says, I've never taken 11 chair shots in my entire career. So later on, we're in the locker room after the match, the show's over with. I'm changed, he's changed, and I'm going, okay, this is what you say. So I'm getting nervous. And I didn't know what to get nervous about. Because, I spent time on Scandal Akbar. He was a friend of mine. Jake the Snake Roberts, I've been to his house, and I'm sitting there, I'm getting nervous. Okay, get this straight. I'll walk over to him and said, stuck my hand out and said, oh my God, you're Tommy Rich!
That's exactly what he did. Mark.
I barked out so hard.
We all did, man. At one point, we were all marks.
Oh, man.
So I have one more question for you here. If you had any advice to give to anybody trying to enter the wrestling or the movie business, what would you give them?
Oh, man. Geez. When I was 16 years old, I had somebody who was dying of cancer give me a bit of advice I've lived my life by. Every day of my life I lived this promise I made to him. Live your life, don't let it live you. Take every opportunity, whether you fail or not. Take every opportunity, because believe me, when you fail at an opportunity, that leaves you open for another opportunity that you can take that lesson you learned and apply it to that. Everybody thinks that I've got this magic formula of how to get into things. No, I've stumbled my way through everything I've did in my entire life. Rock bands, the wrestling, the movies, everything. A marriage, a YouTube channel, I've stumbled my way through it. Only because of one thing. I lived my life, I didn't let it live me. That's the best bit of advice I can ever give anybody.
I'd like to thank you guys for coming on here again. Make sure you keep a lookout for Revenge here with Robin Graves here. And, God.
Maybe a ringside soon, we'll talk.
Yeah. We'll see if she comes out there as well. Make sure you tune in for next week here. We will have Dangerous Danny Horn and Dirty Don on the show. So make sure you tune in for that. And I'm out.